I hold in my hand $1 million bill and a penny. Now, presuming the $1 million bill were really worth $1 million, that I was really holding $1 million in my hand, which would you choose? Would you choose $1 million? Or would you choose for me to give you a penny that I would double every day for a month? So that on day 1, I would give you 2 pennies. Yay! Day 2, you'd get 4 pennies. Yay! Day 3, 8 pennies. Oh, you see how that goes? If you were to have a choice, which would you choose? Would you choose $1 million, or would you choose a penny that's doubled every day for a year? Tony, I see you pointing to the penny. Why? Or do you know something that we don't know? Because at the end of the month, the $1 million will be worth $1 million. But if you choose a penny multiplied by 2 every day for a month, you'd have over $3 million. That's the power of multiplication. Which is why we love today's gospel. Today's gospel has the only miracle that appears in all 4 gospels. Follow me? And what is the only miracle found in all 4 gospels? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. What's the only miracle that all 4 of them talk about? The multiplication of bread and fish. The power of multiplication. Of how it is that with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, according to the story, somehow something happened that fed the entire crowd. And maybe it was something magical, or maybe in their culture, where people had something to eat for the journey in their purses or in their pockets, maybe that inspired them to share with others so generously that it fed everyone. Who knows? I wasn't there. But the point of the story, and the reason it's told in all 4 Gospels, is that it had everything to do with multiplication. What kind of math did Jesus practice? He practiced multiplication. And he challenged us to multiply love and peace and forgiveness in this world as well. How does that work? Have you ever had a bad morning? Okay, who of us hasn't? You wake up on the wrong side of the bed. That dark cloud is just following you all morning. You see the first person and you snap at them. And what have you just done? Suddenly, your spirit, your attitude has influenced them. And so now they go off with that cloud hanging over their head, and what happens? Suddenly, our words and actions are multiplied. Which is why we have to take them so seriously, because instead of waking up on the wrong side of the bed with the cloud following us all day, imagine waking up on the wrong side of the bed and saying, you know what, today's going to get better. I'm going to turn my frown upside down and make this a great day. Then what happens? Then we start multiplying other things. Brothers and sisters, that's what we're called to do. And today's scriptures give us a few ideas of how it is that we might be multiplying good things in our lives. In today's first reading, for instance, we have that great story of Abram, of Abraham and Sarah fame. Abram goes to a priest whose name was Melchizedek. And Melchizedek blesses Abraham, and Abraham decides to respond by more generously sharing of himself. Did you hear today's first reading? In fact, after Melchizedek blessed Abraham, Abraham decided, you know what? I'm going to give 10% of everything that I have to God. And that was the origin of what today we call tithing, Abraham's generosity. Now, I'm not going to suggest that all of us follow in the footsteps of Abraham that generously, but just imagine for a moment if we were to more generously share of our time and of our talent and of the resources that we have. Jesus says in various places in the gospel, the measure with which we measure to other people is what's going to be measured back to us. How stingy are we in sharing with others? Every time you pray the Our Father, how much are you asking God to forgive you? Oh God, forgive me all my sins. No, that's not what we're saying in the Our Father. What do we say? Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive others. As we forgive those who trespass against us. The same measuring cup that I use with others, Lord, use that with me. Nice. How's that for a challenge? And if I'm stingy in my love or my forgiveness, then Lord, I don't expect anything more from you. Maybe it's time for us to be more like Abram and his wife Sarah and to be more generous in our sharing. Today's second reading has that famous story of Jesus sitting down with his disciples and sharing bread and sharing wine with them, saying, this is my body, this is my blood. And for early Christians, that bread and that cup were powerful symbols. Because when we take a loaf of bread and start breaking it and sharing it with everyone, what happens? All of us are holding a piece of that one bread. And when we all eat that bread together, it's a symbol of our unity. In fact, we came up with a word for that. We are living with union in other people. With, union, communion. When we break bread together and share that bread, we're living in unity with all those other people, and we came up with a word for them too. When I share bread with you, with bread, pan, compañeros, companions. What are companions? But people that we break bread with. Here at Holy Family, look around to your right and to your left. Those are your companions, literally. The people you break bread with this morning. Christians recognize that powerful symbol. And also when they took a cup and recognize when we all pass around the cup and when we all drink from the same cup, what is that a symbol of? Our unity. That we're all living in unity together. I'll drink from the cup, you drink from the cup, you drink from the cup, you drink from the cup. It's a symbol of our unity. Do you see what happens every time we come to Mass? When we celebrate the body and blood of Christ, a symbol of our unity. And if we were to really live that, not just here in the church, but if we were to go out these doors, I have a feeling, as Isaiah suggested, there would be no wars in this world. We would have no needs for weapons. We would not be bombing other nations because we'd all be living in peace with one another if we really practiced what we preach. Brothers and sisters, today's scriptures challenge us as we celebrate the solemnity of the body and blood of Christ. Let's recall how it is that all of us are connected as companions of one another here in this church and of all people throughout the world. Let's be like Abraham and Sarah and share more generously of ourselves so that together we might multiply love and peace and forgiveness in this world.